Okay, so before you start shading, you have to make sure that all of your lines are accurate. So you're going to be taking your sighting stick and looking and seeing, like if I see here across from the top of this picture, what does it line up with over here? And I'm going to do that with specific points and make sure. I'm going to double check all of my angles and make sure that they are accurate. I'm going to look at every single negative space and I'm going to make sure that it is accurate. Once I'm sure that everything is exactly accurate, then I can start my shading process. So your basic thing that you need to remember is that everything has to either fade into the object or into the background. Is the background darker than the object? Is the object darker than the background? And sometimes that shifts at different points, and you have to think about the light source. So the very first thing that you need to determine is where is your light source. Anything that is not in the direct light is going to be darker than anywhere else, even if there's some light reflecting up into the shadow of the shadowed area. It's going to be at least a little bit darker than the lightest areas. So now I'm starting to chunk in my darker areas with my vine charcoal and working on some blends. So I'm going to use the medium tone of the paper and kind of blend it into that medium tone, and sometimes I'm going to erase out to blend into that medium tone as well. Thinking about, is the object darker or lighter than the background, and where do I see light hit? Where is the object lighter? And remember to over exaggerate your value. You can chunk out large areas with your kneaded eraser depending on how you hold it, and you can clean your kneaded eraser easily just by manipulating it in your hand. So sometimes I'm going to be erasing out big areas. And sometimes I'm going to be chunking in like darker shadowed areas. And looking for details. And right now this is just becoming like the under base. I'm going to be going back over this with my charcoal pencils to work into detail and using really short, neat strokes. But for now, I'm just sticking with the vine charcoal and getting the basic value down, because at this point I can still erase it super easily if something is not drawn correctly or if it's in the wrong spot. So right now I'm using the tortillon or blending stump. And working on that blend, so sometimes I have a nice soft, subtle blend, even in a shadow. So it's kind of just like working back and forth, cleaning things up, sharpening things up. This is kind of a darker shadow casting off of this form. And I will be getting darker as well underneath these forms, but right now I'm just kind of blocking in from that background edge where this shape will be. And even within this shape, there is a darker area where I have like the core of the shadow. So now I'm kind of just taking toilet paper to wipe this out. A chamois would be more for something that's really light because it will erase out more. But I can also use a tortillon to kind of smooth things out. I'm just kind of blocking things in and cleaning things up.